to speak?
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Carney.
Good morning.
Thank you both for appearing before this body again. Mr. Sablan, just so you understand, as I stated to you during your last appearance before this panel, in the event that the committee felt that you needed to come back to answer further questions, that you would be called and be given reasonable notice. Now, one of the members, specifically the Vice Speaker, asked that you return. The members concurred, and that is why you are here today. Again, just to remind you, you are here relative to two articles, Article 8 and Article 16, and your counsel is also here representing you. Let me just pull that up. Article 8. Article 8 is relative to the sole source contract to Integrated Professional Solutions, and Article 16 again refers to the same contract with IPS. Sir, before we proceed, I will put you under oath, so would you kindly raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm, under penalty of law, that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir. Again, for the record, would you kindly state your name, your title, and the agency that you represent?
My name is Herman Sablan. I am the Director of Procurement and Supply under the Department of Finance.
Mr. Sablan, when you finish talking, just push it. You don't have to hold the button down. Thank you. Counsel, would you kindly identify yourself as well, your title and what office you're from?
Assistant Attorney General James Carney from the Office of the Attorney General, representing Mr. Sablan as counsel.
Further to clarify, Mr. Carney, in your capacity at the Attorney General's office, are you the attorney responsible for representing the Division of Procurement Supply?
Yes, I've been assigned Procurement Supply.
Thank you, sir. I will now turn it over to the Vice Speaker.
I'll yield, Mr. Chairman, to Congressman Torres.
Rep. Torres, you have the floor.
Mr. Sablan, during the IG visit, I believe the internal, what does IG means?
Inspector
General. Yes, and I believe that's from the Department of Interior. Did you know that he's from the Department of Interior?
I believe so.
Now, at one time, I believe that the IG went down to your office, accompanied by anybody?
He was accompanied by, I think, from an investigator from the Office of the Public Auditor.
During the interview, Mr. Sablan, did the IG ever ask you question that might be incriminating, or asking or fishing, if you would answer to his questioning? And this is coming from, nowhere. Did he ever ask you whether you are following orders from the governor to approve the ARA contract?
I believe he didn't ask me that, but I know at one point, I think he asked me. I believe he asked me if the contract is proper. I said, if the governor justified it, that is why I approved it. And I asked him if he read the report. I mean the justification. He said that he did, and it doesn't make any sense. And I said, it does make to me. That's why I signed the contract.
So he never asked a question whether you are following instruction from the governor.
I can recall that.
You can recall? All right. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Torres. Vice Speaker, you have the floor now.
Yes, just a follow-up on what has already been asked by Congressman Torres. Mr. Sablan, did the Inspector General ask you to sign any document during or when he's about to leave the interview? In the interview?
I'm not sure, but I know one of the inspectors from the Office of the Public Auditor, I think her name is Juanette Atalik, came down with a report and asked me to read it and see if I want to change anything or add anything. I said, no, I don't want to. I'm not going to change or add anything. If the report is the same, then I just leave it as it is.
But that request was made outside of this meeting that you had with the Inspector General, was it?
I am not sure, but I think it's a separate report.
Made in a separate meeting?
That wasn't a meeting. She just came down to have me sign a paper or to read the report and see if I want to add or delete anything from that report.
If I may, who was the investigator from the Public Auditor's Office that was with the Inspectors General when they came to visit you?
I believe it was Mr. John Santos.
So I just wanted to make sure, did you sign anything, an affidavit or any document before they exited the meeting, the Inspector General leave your office?
I don't recall that.
So, but you did say that he asked whether the ARA, the sole source contract, was signed pursuant to our procurement regulations and anything that is governing our procurement activities in the CNMI. Did he ask that? Or did you tell him that?
I don't, I'm sorry, I don't memorize all the detail in the report.
You said that there was a conversation that went between you and the Inspector General relative to the ARA contract. When he asked, did he ask any question relative to whether that contract was done pursuant to, was signed pursuant to our procurement regulations or laws governing procurement in the CNMI?
I'm sorry, as I said, I don't remember all the details in that report now. I'm not sure whether he asked that question, Madam Chairman.
Vice Chair.
Yeah, let me yield at this moment.
Rep. Torres.
Thank you. Mr. Sablan, do you have copies of those reports that were sent to you for review, for deletion and addition?
No, I never received any report from the agency side.
No, the report that were brought on for you to review by OPA, no inspectors or investigators. You mentioned that Ms. Antalit came down with the report for you to review, delete and add anything that did you get a copy of those documents?
I believe I got a copy of that document, but I don't know where it is now.
And then you said that you did not review nor sign the document as for your review.
I believe I signed it.
You signed it. So those documents should be with the OPA file, right?
That's correct.
Mr. Chair, could we ask the OPA to provide us that review by IG with accompanied by the inspector of the OPA? Is that the product of the visit by IG, no?
That was from the Office of the Public Auditor, Ms. Juanita Natalie, I believe. She came down alone.
Okay, so just to make sure that I understand, the IG did not submit or came out with a report to you of his finding in your office.
I'm sorry, Congressman, say again, please.
Did the IG prepare a report for you to review only from the IG, not from OPA?
No.
Thank you.
Mr. Sablan, you can leave your mic on. When the light turns on the microphone, that means that the mic is on. So turn it on and you can leave it on. Rep. Torres, are you finished?
Yes, but Chair, can we ask OPA to provide us that report that were sent to the procurement director?
Privilege, Mr. John.
State your privilege.
I'm not sure which report Representative Torres is asking for, but we have a copy of the Office of the Inspector General's report date July 14, and I believe all of us here are or have been given a copy of this report with regards to the ARA investigation. He's welcome to have my copy.
Mr. Chair.
Representative Torres still has the floor. Rep. Torres, we do have copies of both of the IG report. I think I have 2 copies. But is that the copy you are referring to?
No, sir. Mr. Sablan said that the document that were given to him to review and accept signing it is from the OPA office, not the IG's report. There's another report. Isn't that correct, Mr. Sablan? OPA?
I am not sure whether that's the same report that the IG had, but
At any rate, Mr. Chairman, can we ask the
Rep.
OPA?
Torres, go ahead.
Thank you. Can we ask the OPA to provide us a copy of their report interviewing Mr. Sablan regarding the error matter?
Rep. Torres, we do have both Mr. Pai and Mr. Hasselbeck scheduled to come in. Can we, when they come in, can we ask them for those copies? If you don't have it in your possession, we can ask them when it's their turn. So for now, you will yield, and we can ask directly Mr. Pai.
Mr.
But I think the legal counsel is clarifying that while Mr. Sablan is here, and Mr. Sablan, the report that you had signed, you did make a statement that you were provided a copy. Is that correct?
No, I believe not.
And the one that you signed that you were not given a copy, was that from the OPA or from the IG office?
From the IG office.
What about the OPA? Were you given a copy from Miss Janet Juanet Atalik after you signed it?
I believe she did, but I can't find that report.
But you believe you were provided a copy?
I believe so.
Okay, well, we will ask the OPA when they come in. Further, Vice?
Just before we dismiss Mr. Sablan, I just want to make sure that I'm very clear on this. The interview with the Procurement and Supply Director by the Inspector General, accompanied by Mr. Santos of the Public Auditor's Office. In that meeting, I want to know that there was, immediately after you finished the meeting, that there was no affidavit or anything that you signed saying that you had met with them, and whatever had transpired had transpired. Did you have to sign any document before they exited that meeting? Or were you asked to sign a document before you completed your meeting with them? The two, one, the Inspector General from the Inspector General's office, and one from the Public Auditor's office. I think that's what I'm asking.
I'm not sure if I signed it, but well, if the public auditor has that copy, then that will show if I signed the document or not.
And then the second one, I just want to make sure that I understand. Days later, how many days later, Ms. Juanet Atalik came down with a report for you to review, and you said that, did you say that you signed that report after you had reviewed for accuracy?
I did not review that report. I told her because she asked me if I have anything to delete, add, or change in the report. I said I don't have anything to change or delete.
But did you sign that report? Do you remember signing that report?
I don't recall, but I believe so.
All right. So the Public Auditor's Office would have a copy of that report that was handed to you to review and sign, and then you signed.
Yes, ma'am.
And then the last one is, there was never any report transmitted to you directly from the Inspector General's office on this visit, on that investigation, that on the interview that they had conducted with you.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all.
Any other members? All right, since there is none, Mr. Sablan, we want to thank you again for appearing back to this body. I hope all the members have concluded their questioning of Mr. Sablan, so we can dismiss him, excuse him rather this time around. Mr. Sablan, thank you for your cooperation and thank you for coming again. You are hereby excused, meaning you will not be called back to this committee any further. Mr. Carney, thank you also for your assistance.
Thank you.
Thank you.